Today, we are turning scraps and envelopes into something magical. These little pockets are easy to make, super cute, and perfect for junk journals, happy mail, or even a special card. I'll show you how to create them, decorate them, and fill them up with little treasures. So grab your scraps and let's get crafting. The inspiration for this project, and I was writing in my journal and I grabbed this little envelope the other day and I realized it was just a little bit too long, so I folded it up and I started writing on it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, all I have to do is cut that top off and I have got a pocket there. And so today we're going to make a riff on this and make it much prettier. So I just grabbed any old piece of scrapbook paper and I folded it into thirds, and I'm just going to use my tape runner to go ahead and glue that down, and you can use anything that you want. And I'm going ahead and just using my bone folder to make sure that it is all nice and pressed down, and then I'm going to flip it over and decide how big I want my bottom pocket and just fold that up. And again, I'm using my bone folder to crease that in place. And that is the entire base of our project. How simple is that? Now let's get to decorating one together. And so what I thought would be really pretty on this plain one would be some lace. So I just grabbed a piece of lace from my stash, and this is actually from a top or an outfit, and I am just going ahead and figuring out the size I want, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out with my scissors. And now I'm ready to glue it in place, and I decided to use some hot glue, and I'm just dabbing a little bit onto the edges, and I'm using a little spatula, a silicone one, so that I don't burn myself while I am attaching the lace. And next, I wanted to create a decorative edge, and so I took my scissors, which are like rickrack scissors, and I'm just cutting off the edge of both the bottom and the top, and I love the way that that looks. And I'm taking a scrap of paper and I'm folding it in half and trimming off the corners with a corner rounder, and then I'm inserting it in the pocket to make sure it fits. And then we're just going to take a little piece of ribbon and tie that on the top to create a pull for it, as well as it's a place where you could attach additional papers onto it. And then we're going to decorate it up by adding some sweet little buttons to the bottom right hand corner with some hot glue. And now we're ready to make our second sweet little goodie for the inside. And I'm taking a very old 1900s book page and I'm just creasing it and then tearing the edges off to create a background for this sweet little insert. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach that with glue. And then to tie in with the lace on the pocket, I thought I would take another scrap piece of the lace from the top, and I am cutting around it and I'm going in and out on that mesh, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the top of this insert. And I'm using hot glue and just dabbing it in all the places where there's a lot of material and putting that right in place. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love it. And I wanted to finish it off by tying a little bit of pink in. So I took my Distress ink in pink and I'm just gently rubbing the edges of it to tie it in. And this time, instead of just a fold up on the bottom, I want to create a pocket. So I'm using my hot glue to run a little bead of glue along both sides, and then I'm just closing that shut, and now I've got 3 pockets. And I want to make one more insert, and this time I'm going to use a library card to fill the pocket, and again I'm going around the edges with the pink ink to tie that in, and I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to tuck it in the pocket, and I'm putting it right in front of that taller one that is already on there. And then I thought, you know what? Let me go ahead and put a stamp on that, because you can always write right on top of a stamp. And I thought that was just the perfect touch. It turned out so beautiful. I love it. And so now I'm going to turn some music on, and let's just make another one together. So these are the 4 that I made, and so this was my first one. I just think that is so gorgeous, just so simple and so gorgeous. It's a beautiful writing spot. And here's more pockets. But this one I made like that one I just showed you, where you can fold it down and you can write on this entire thing. And I've got the pocket here with all of the items in it. I have a pocket on the top with this little writing pad on the inside of it. And then I've got this one again with some sweet little writing spots and a flip up that you can write on or put more papers into it. And with a pocket down here, this one is also glued. And then this one is another one where it just folds down. And this one I did in black and white. And so you can see that folds down like that. Look at that beautiful, very soft paper. And I just put some bling across the top of that. And then for this one, I stamped it, and then I just cut with my scissors around it into a shape. I think that is so fun. And I just stamped on the bottom of this one. And so I just love how these turned out. I think it's just such a versatile thing that you can make stuff out of, whether you do it with scrapbook paper as I did here, or you do it with an envelope or junk mail envelope. I think it's just such a fun pocket idea. Tell me which one is your favorite. I would love to know.